What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down the difference between 5-star quarterbacks and 0-star quarterbacks. So we're going to be looking at some films from some 5-star guys, some no-star guys, and talk to you about why stars do not matter and they are not worth a dang thing. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it teaches you some new things. But also, fellas, if you're a QB and you would like to train with us this offseason, we are going to be traveling out to 15 different states for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. So our next camp will be in San Francisco. That camp is completely sold out, but then we'll be coming out to Orlando, New Orleans, Charlotte, Dallas, the DMV, St. Louis, Honolulu, Boston, Cleveland, Austin, Seattle, Newark, Denver, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to one of those cities and would like to train with myself, my coaches for 2 whole days, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get started. So I want to get this clear. This first throw we're looking at here is from Arch Manning. Arch Manning is the top recruit in the class of 2023, I believe is what it is now. And he can absolutely rip the ball, flat out rip. And this is not meant to discourage anybody that is ranked out there. This is meant to encourage the guys who do not have stars, who are not ranked, maybe from a small area, a small school, that it's really not the most important thing in the world. So let's take a look at this ball here from Arch Manning. This is the type of throw that, a college coach wants to see on film. He's scrambling out of the pocket. He throws this thing, threads the needle into tight coverage. That's a Division I level throw. I'm going to play this thing again full speed. And some of the main things that colleges are looking for in quarterbacks, especially those Power 5 schools, they're looking for arm strength, arm talent, extend playability, and football IQ. So can you make reads? Can you make all the throws on the field accurately? And then can you honestly extend the play and be a playmaker? So now let's look at this next throw here from Arch Manning. So he's throwing this ball as a 7-on-7 clip, but I wanted to show this angle because you could tell how much velocity that ball has behind it. Watch how it finishes in this wide receiver's hand. Now, the reason why I show these 2 clips and the reason why I discuss these 2 things is because these are the plays that you want to showcase on your film. At the end of the day, the 5-star, 1-star, 3-star, all that crap does not matter. Those stars, those rankings were put together by guys who have probably never stepped foot onto a field, nor played quarterback for that matter. And they just have the audacity to rank quarterbacks and say quarterbacks are this, quarterbacks are that. At the end of the day, what are you actually playing football for? Are you playing football for the hype, for the highlights? And I know the game. I get it. Those guys are trying to get views. That's why they labeled these guys as 5-stars, so they could charge people more money to put ads on their website. Fact of the matter, that's what it is. But when you look at these top-tier guys, they all have those things in common. They have arm strength, they have arm talent, they can hit every throw, and they have a high football IQ, and they can extend the play. You look at this next play here from Arch Manning. I know this is in practice, but this shows that he has some kind of athleticism. He escapes the pocket, makes a throw back across the field. So this is what college coaches are looking for, fellas. Not who cares what Rivals thinks, what 24/7 thinks. How about we try to impress the guys that actually matter? And that's a college coach. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, don't college coaches use Rivals, use 24/7? They absolutely don't. You know how much money it costs? Think about this. I'm the University of Alabama. They fly 10 coaches out to probably, 25 different states, 50 states, however many in that range, I'm sure. You know how expensive it is to fly those guys everywhere, especially nowadays? You know how expensive it is to put them in hotels? I'm talking hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars to fly those people everywhere, to fly people to the school for official visits. They spend millions on recruiting. Why in the hell would they listen to a recruiting site tell them what to do and tell them how to do their job when they've never done the scouting? They've just seen a video and decided to give this guy a 5-star ranking. It's all for hype. It's all for views. It's complete BS. So the reason why I say all this is because if you're that 0-star guy, don't worry about the star thing. You need to worry about standing out to college coaches. So now, what do they look for in film? And it's those last couple things that I showed you. Accuracy, arm talent, arm strength, extend playability, football IQ. Now, this is an example from a lower division guy who is not a 5-star recruit, right? It was a 0-star guy. He's coming out of the pocket. Now, this is a touchdown, right? This showcases his athleticism. This showcases a big play. But I don't know if this is that Power 5 type play that you would put on your highlight tape. You just kind of pulled the ball down, just ran for about 15 yards, scored a TD. Now, if you're a pocket passer, yeah, that might be great. But that's not a play that's going to stand out to the Division I guys. Right? That's not a play that's going to just be like, oh, wow, we need that guy. Because quite frankly, there's probably 30 other guys across in every state that could do that exact same play. You need to showcase your highlights. You need to showcase those things that we talked about. This is another example. This is from a guy. This is a random highlight tape that I found. But this is one of the plays that he had in his film. And he's just throwing a simple slant to this slot receiver. Listen, I'm hoping that every high school quarterback in America can hit a 3-step slant. If they can't, then they're probably doing something wrong. They need to figure it out. But that's not a highlight. That's not something that a college coach is going to want to see. That is not something that he's thinking, oh, wow, he can hit that throw. Maybe I should take another look at this guy. So on your film, fellas, that's the most important thing. That's what's going to help you stand out. That's going to help you get to the next level. So these types of throws you need to leave out of your film. You need to include the plays where you're escaping the pocket. Like we go back to these very first clips here from Arch Manning. He's getting out of the pocket. He's escaping. He's throwing this ball in the face of pressure and putting this thing on a dime. Then you look at the next example here. This showcases that he has a ton of arm strength, ripping a post over the middle, probably a little late. This next throw, he's escaping out of the pocket, making a throw back across the field. I'm not saying you have to do all those things, but those check all the boxes, and that's why he's the #1 recruit in the country. Now, we look at this other example here. And this is a quarterback that I actually work with out here in California. So this is the opposite end of the spectrum, right? That 5-star. He's actually a 3-star recruit, committed to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And he's got insane arm talent, can make every throw on the field, incredibly smart. I'm talking like a 4.5 GPA, can read defenses, a good leader. All the check boxes, but he's a 3-star recruit. Now look at this play on his film. This is not even the first play on his film. This is probably the second or third play. Breaks a tackle, escapes out of the pocket, throws this thing across the field, keeps the guy almost in complete stride, and he throws a touchdown. So why is this guy making these types of throws? And he's not ranked 5 stars because that's the same types of throws that you see these 5-star guys making. Some 5-star guys are complete scams, by the way. I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to name names, but especially in California, there are a lot of guys that get that 5-star label, that 4-star label. It's a complete joke. It's a complete scam. And those guys are going to get flat out exposed at the next level. So why isn't he ranked 5 stars if he's making these throws? And there's a lot of factors that play into it. Because I'll tell you right now, the school that this kid goes to, it's got 200 kids. You know, Arch Manning school, I don't know how big that school is, obviously, but the last name Manning doesn't hurt his cause for him to get exposure and noticed. But you see these other schools that people go to, like Modern Day, thousands of kids go there. St. John Bosco, thousands of kids go there. They're in the national news. So that's where all these guys are going to go, these recruiting analysts, because they want the views. They're not going to talk about some small school that's off of some freeway with 200 kids. That doesn't get them views. That doesn't get them exposure to their websites where they have those so-called quote-unquote rankings. They don't care about the talent of the kid. They care about how many views they can get. There are a lot of things that play into that 5-star role. How big of a school are you at? Do you pass the eye test? And this kid's about 6'2", 6'3". He's a little thin, but so are a lot of other top quarterbacks across the country. It's all complete crap, and you guys have to understand that that 5-star, 3-star, all that stuff does not matter. How many NFL quarterbacks are X5 stars? Not a ton. You go down that list, go down the list of the top players in the country, go through Rivals' website over and over again throughout the years. How many of those guys pan out? Yes, they all got their school paid for, and that is the main goal. But how many of those guys really do pan out? It shows that they're not experts. They don't know what they're talking about. Our goal should be getting my education paid for. Make plays like this. Put plays like this on your film so you can stand out to the guys that actually matter, which is college coaches. College coaches show up to your high school. They talk to your high school coach. They don't talk to anybody else. They don't land, like let's say you live in Wisconsin. They don't go to Wisconsin and land and then call the recruiting guy from Rivals in Wisconsin. They go to the top high schools in the area. They go to your coach. They ask them, hey, and then they go to the guys that maybe they've reached out to or maybe they've heard from via Twitter, via email. They go to those high schools. And the first point of contact is the high school coach. So that's all that matters. Playing for your team, playing well, impressing your high school coach, so when that college coach shows up, he will go to bat for you. And you need to impress the college coach, not some Joe Blow recruiting guy that is just in it for the check and is just in it for the views. You just got to understand that when it comes to that 5-star, 3-star, no-star ranking system. All right, fellas, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you want some more information on our 15 off-season camps we're going to be hosting, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out. I'll see you guys next time.